Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of one of the most powerful religious and political objects in the entire world, an object believed to hold the very right to rule a nation.
I mean, seriously, how does that work? For centuries in Sri Lanka, this wasn't some kind of riddle. It was political reality. It's a story of faith, of power, and of a daring escape that didn't just move an object from one country to another. It transplanted the very heart of a kingdom.
Our story kicks off over 2,500 years ago, and we're not in Sri Lanka yet. We're in ancient India, in the embers of the Buddha's funeral pyre, where a single precious relic was saved from the flames.
So the story goes that this specific tooth, the left upper canine, was saved by a disciple and then entrusted to the kings of Kalinga in India. For generations, they were its guardians. But, as its fame grew, so did the danger. It became a target.
Okay, so let's get into this escape, because it's like something out of a movie. The king of Kalinga, fearing an invasion, entrusts the relic to his daughter, Princess Hemamala, in an act of just incredible courage. She hides the tooth in the coils of her hair, and she and her husband flee to Sri Lanka. This one single act of smuggling would change the island's destiny forever.
So when the relic arrived, it wasn't just an object to be worshipped. Oh no. It became something much, much more powerful, the actual key to political power itself.
This gave rise to a really powerful political idea, the palladium of sovereignty. Now that's a fancy term, but the concept was simple and absolute. Having the relic wasn't just a symbol of power, it was the divine right to rule. It was the ultimate source of legitimacy. To hold the tooth was to hold the throne.
So here's the thing. The relic couldn't just stay put. As the kingdom's capital shifted around because of invasions and fights, the tooth had to move with it. From Anuradhapura to Polonnaruwa and finally to Kandy, the relic was like a roving crown, physically tying legitimacy to wherever the government was. The kingdom was wherever the tooth was. Simple as that.
All right, so let's fast forward to its final resting place in Kandy and see how this all builds into the magnificent temple we see today, a structure built specifically to house this ultimate symbol of power.
So when King Womala Dharma Surya I sets up Kandy as the new capital, building a temple for the relic was one of his first and most important acts. This was a total power move, a strategic declaration to everyone, hey, I've got the relic, so I am the rightful king.
What's really fascinating here is how the temple's own history perfectly mirrors the struggles of the Kandian kingdom. It was a huge target for colonial powers. The Portuguese destroyed it, the Dutch burned it down, but every single time it was rebuilt. It was an act of defiance, a symbol of their unwavering commitment to protecting the cornerstone of their sovereignty.
So what about the tooth itself? Can you just go see it? Well, no. It's considered so incredibly sacred that it's never shown to the public. It rests deep inside the temple, encased in a series of 7 magnificent golden caskets, each one fitting inside the other, kinda like a Russian doll.
But don't get the wrong idea. This temple is not some dusty, static museum. It is a vibrant, living center of worship, brought to life by daily rituals and a truly spectacular annual festival that gets the whole world's attention.
3 times a day, every single day, ancient ceremonies called the Shumawa are performed by monks. These rituals, along with the powerful, rhythmic sound of drumming, really are the spiritual heartbeat of the temple.
Now, the absolute pinnacle of all this devotion is the annual Kandy Asala Perahera. It's a festival that literally transforms the entire city of Kandy into just an awe-inspiring spectacle of faith, light, and sound.
And the scale of this thing is just immense. It goes on for 10 straight nights every summer. And it's not the same every night. It's a crescendo. The processions grow bigger and grander, adding more performers, more elephants, more energy, all building up to a final parade that is truly one of the world's great cultural sights.
I mean, just try to picture the scene. You've got whip crackers clearing the streets, followed by hundreds of dancers, drummers, and right at the center of it all, a majestic tusker elephant, decorated from head to toe, carrying a golden replica of the sacred casket. It's a total sensory experience.
So as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the temple's story is known all over the world. But like a lot of ancient relics, its history isn't without a little controversy and a few questions. And here's the big one. In the 16th century, Portuguese writers left detailed accounts saying they captured the relic, took it to India, and publicly crushed it to dust. But
Sri Lankan historical records tell a totally different story. They say the monks were one step ahead, hiding the real tooth and letting the Portuguese capture a fake.
And what makes this debate even more complicated is that because it's so incredibly sacred, the relic has never had any kind of scientific testing done on it. So that lack of hard proof leaves its physical origins kind of shrouded in mystery.
But this is really where the story pivots from history to faith. Because for millions of believers, scientific proof is completely beside the point. The relic's power doesn't come from its physical makeup, but from centuries of unbroken tradition and the deep, profound belief that's invested in it. So in the end, whether you see it as fact or faith, the Sacred Tooth Relic is still the unwavering spiritual heart of Sri Lanka. Its true power, maybe, isn't in what it is, but in what it represents, a symbol of identity, of sovereignty, and of the extraordinary story a nation tells about itself.